Hello and welcome to Empire Rugby League. This is Coaching from the Couch, an Origin special with Bear and Wombat. Wombat, how are you?
Excited because Origin's here in the West.
Yes, we will be at this game.
We will be at this game, yes. So our lovely contact has pulled through with us for a couple of tickets. So us and a few mates are all going to be there. And funny enough, you're one of two people wearing Blues jumpers.
Yes, I will be outnumbered.
So we're going to whack you right in the middle of all of us. And you're either going to get swamped or you're going to go home fat, dumb and happy.
Well, I mean, I'm fat, dumb and happy anyway. But, no, yeah, look, okay. Let's just go through these squads as they are currently named on the NRL site. So, don't know if there's any late changes coming through tomorrow, but for New South Wales, we have Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton, Latrell Mitchell, Zach Lomax, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, Max King, Reece Robson, Payne Haas, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yeo as captain, and the bench is Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Hudson Young, and Stefano Uito Ikamanu. You'll get my thoughts in a second, but how do the Maroons line up, Wombat?
So the Maroons is Kalen Ponga, Xavier Coates, Robert Toya, Valentine Holmes, Hamiso Tabuai Fido, Cameron Munster as the 20th game for him, 20th Origin game, and the 19th Queensland Maroons captain.
Very nice.
Tom Dearden, Mo Fodawaker, Harry Grant, Tino Fasul-Malawi, Ruben Cotter, Kurt Capewell, Trent Liero, Kurt Mann, Lindsay Collins, Jeremiah Nane, Patrick Carrigan, and 18th man is Ezra Mam.
Oh, the Blues 18th man is Matty Burton, but
he's got the 18th man all the time.
Poor bastard. Okay. Look, off the bat, I know we did this with our potential review of Game 1, but no DCE. You dropped the captain, dropped the halfback. You've dropped both Fermor and brought in the old boy Kurt Capewell, and you've currently got Pat Carrigan and Jeremiah Nanai starting on the bench. Wombat, what the fuck is going on in Queensland?
Great question. Well asked. Please provide an answer.
No. That's your job. You got to answer this.
Crap. Okay. Next question.
Okay. Next question is, what's going on with the Queensland team?
Damn it. I knew that was going to come back. Short answer. I have absolutely no idea. Now, dropping Beau Fermor with limited minutes, that's a huge question mark for me. I don't know.
All right, well, okay. So let's just go change for change. So Kurt Capewell has come in for Beau Fermor.
Well, if you're going change for change, Nanai to the bench for Fermor, Kurt Capewell to the starting side.
Either way.
Yeah, I know, but we're going...
It's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. One big thing that bugs me... Ruben Cotter's not a back rower.
I agree. I think if Ruben Cotter and look, I'm not buying the lemonade that Queensland are selling here.
Oh hell no! Even I'm Queenslander. I don't believe it.
I think Ruben Cotter goes to the bench.
Yep. Which
makes a hell of a lot more sense, and Nanai starts.
Mm-hmm. Now, if that does happen,
Liero's got to go to the bench, and Carrigan's got to start.
Now. Like, even regardless, Liero, Carrigan, whatever, off the bench, you've got Kurt Mann, who... Utility, which 32 years old, and he gets to live out his childhood dream of a Queenslander. Congratulations to him. Love that fact. Then you've got Lindsay Collins coming off as a front row. That kind of scares me a little bit. Yeah, coming off the bench. Then you've got Nanai, who, if he goes to the starting side for Cotter and then Cotter's on the bench, we'll just use, with that switch, Carrigan switching again, you've got Liero and Cotter, two middle forwards, two 13s.
Mm-hmm.
Your front rower goes down. You're going to have Cotter come on as a rabid dog. Really.
Yeah, see, I think Cotter's done a good job in Origins as a prop.
I also think Mo Fodawaker will go to the bench. Cotter to the bench as well. Collins to start. Nanai to the back row. I think there'll be a lot of changes here.
Yeah.
I think the only player on that bench that'll stay where they are is Kurt Mann.
Yeah.
Because I do really think Kurt Mann will go in there and give Harry a reprieve because he was gassed.
That's plan one for Kurt Mann. But here's a curveball. I know you love your stat. Obviously, Harry starting is not a good omen for Queensland. Would you start Kurt Mann at 9 and have Harry off the bench?
Not as a debut with the series on the line.
Fair enough. I just thought that weird stat that could be a thing, but I mean, why would you? Realistically,
that's my take on it.
And then the other switch for switch, which is not like for like, but it is position for position. DCE out, Tom Dearden in.
Literally, we said it in our review, and quite a few times actually. I guess at the start maybe didn't agree with the decision. I agreed with it straight up because that loss to the Knights sold it for me. And then to do that performance to the Titans of all teams, realistically, the Manly had no excuses to lose to that side.
They didn't. No, they had no excuses last week.
Titans had their two main front rowers and their captain not in the side, and they went through Manly like they were nothing.
Yeah.
Now, Tom Dearden coming in, he single-handedly has been a amazing 7. I think the Cowboys have not found another JT.
Reverse.
But I think they're starting to build their Cooper Cronk.
Fair enough. Okay.
Finding him as a 6, working as a 7.
Yeah.
And I subtly want to say this is a bit of a middle finger to the Brisbane Broncos.
Oh.
This is the biggest middle
Everything
finger.
Tommy does now is a finger to the Broncos because I don't know how stupid you have to be to let go of Tommy Dearden but keep some of the other questionable players they've got.
Yep.
But anyway, we're not talking Clubland. Look.
Another small switch is Val Holmes for Hamiso.
Yeah, so from centre to wing.
Yep.
Look. With that Queensland side, Tom Dearden at 7 scares the living daylights out of me because that is a threat. That's a genuine threat. And then if Queensland get on the front foot, then you have to contend with Munster on the other edge as well. And that, yuck.
Another thing that really excites me and scares me, honestly, is the fact that there is a little C next to Munster's name.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
And it's his 20th Origin.
I don't not like it for any other reason other than a New South Wales point of view because Cameron will he'll go up 2 or 3 gears in this game. He was going to go up a gear anyway because the series is on the line. He's now captain. It was going to be his 20th, so it's a milestone Origin game. So he was going to go up another gear anyway. So that's 2 gears, and then you name him as captain. Now, when he walked down to Billy's room, he thought he was getting dropped or put to the bench. And then he's been named... Mate, Munster's going to go up.
Take Origin 1, for example. He was the only player... And everyone harps on about his missed tackles. But he's the only one that gave... he was the only one that gave a fuck in that game.
That's what it looked like, 100%. I can not doubt that one.
Because he was sitting there. Everything that happened, they... forced an error. He was lifting the team. He was like, come on, let's go. Let's do this. You've got that in that side. I think, in a way, a bit of Trevor Gilmeister is coming in there. The yelling Queenslander running down the tunnel.
Old Billy Moore coming out of the tunnel, you reckon?
Sorry, Billy Moore, yeah. So, I think it's a very smart move putting Munster there as captain.
I think it's a clever move as well. The other thing that worries me is the fact that the Queensland forward pack got absolutely embarrassed in game 1. Now that never happens back to back in Origin. So be looking for Tino to lay out Payne Haas, I think, and unfortunately poor Maxi King had a great game 1, but I think this is going to be a whole different kettle of fish. And then you have, let's be honest, questionable front rowers coming off the bench for New South Wales in Stefano. I don't think he's ready. I think he's maybe next year, but I haven't seen enough for him at Melbourne, let alone I don't like him on the bench. I don't like I'd put Terrell May in. Before that, I would have had Keon. I know Stefano's been in camp, and like all the narratives say it's the easy, obvious option. I don't like it.
I think Stefano going in there is because Keon got injured in the last game. Otherwise, Keon was playing.
I don't think he was.
Really?
From the reports I've been getting, I don't think he was. I think it was Stefano's.
All stats scream Keon. And if Keon couldn't play and Stefano and Terrell May is your two choices, I know which one I'm picking.
Yeah.
At least you know with May you're going to get 80 minutes compressed.
Well, you could get 80 if you needed it. Yeah. Whereas with Stefano, you're definitely not. With Spencer, you're nowhere near it. So if something happens to King or Haas, we're fucked. And I'm sorry, you're not going to get the same...
Because you had the safety net of Barnett.
Yeah.
Because he's played 80, but he's played 80 and 90 minutes at front row in what's it called? Golden Point games.
Yeah. Look, I think despite all the talk about Spencer and them not kicking off to him, I don't think that matters. I think no matter what, if you want that contact in your game, you'll go find it anyway. I'm not sure Spencer did after they didn't kick off to him, so therefore...
He sort of threw a sook. He threw a tantrum.
Yeah, so that's not how you handle it. Look, a back rower on the bench, I don't like. Huddy Young needs more than 13 minutes. Look, I'm gearing up for a Queensland ambush. I really am, because the media are too cocky and too favourable towards New South Wales. All the fans and supporters are too cocky and favourable towards New South Wales. All the ex-players are too cocky and favourable towards New South Wales. And whenever that happens, New South Wales come out and get absolutely pumped.
Because the media's been dragging on about, New South Wales have won record games here in Perth and stuff like that. Because that's all I see now.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, okay, cool.
The more they hype up New South Wales, the more chance they're going to
I will acknowledge that. Yes, games that they've come over here and had floggings. Take 20... I think it was 2020. There was a game, 2020 they did. But yeah, on the screen, we've got Game 2 2022, which I believe was the second Perth game.
Yeah, the first one was 2018 when Tommy just turned pissing down rain, decided to... the rain doesn't matter, I'm going to play...
That was game 3. Because he played the 6 because Munster couldn't play that game.
Yeah, Jesus.
Now, that's 22. That was a scoreline of 44-12.
Yeah, to New South Wales.
That was a scoreline and a half, but realistically, 22...
I think Queensland won game 1 anyway.
Yeah, that was a demolition, and then it was a tit for tat in game 3.
Yeah. Look... Obviously, the other big change is Mitchell Moses out. Jerome Luai comes straight back in. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel for Matty Burton.
Wrong move.
You're 18th man. The 5'8" goes down. You play 5'8" for the club that's leading the competition, or second, or whatever they are, and you still can't get a run.
I'll put this to you. I can understand why... He's still 18th man.
The utility value, I understand it.
That's the only thing, though. But
to me, that's not a reasoning.
Exactly. Now, Matt Burton, who's... Again, Dogs are top of the table.
Yeah.
That should be enough to say you're going to play 6.
Yeah.
That, to me, shows that there is not enough trust that he will do the job.
No, I disagree.
Yeah?
I think, if there wasn't enough trust, he wouldn't even be 18th man.
But do you think that's more of a trust of you add utility value to the side rather than we think you'd...
I think the coaching staff and selectors have got this terribly wrong, because I think all they've seen is, we'll go pick Jerome because Jerome, Nathan, Isaiah and Edwards have such a great relationship. Yeah, they do at Clubland, and they won them 4 premierships. Absolutely. Take nothing away from that. But we also proved during those 5 fucking years that if you pick that spine in Origin and do the same thing, it doesn't fucking work.
Can't take club footy to Origin.
And my biggest fear is that these boys will slip back into that Penrith shit, and that's it. If they do, game over. Queensland win by 40.
Well, in a way, I do want to say that I think there's one player in the Queensland side who has always been that person to get under your skin. Now, I know everyone talks about Tino going after Luai, but there's one more person that I reckon will just be... Your job is to rattle Luai. Just go after him.
Who have you got?
Trent Liero.
Fair. Shit. Yeah, that's fair enough.
If that bloke comes on the field... And look, prime example, for instance. Cameron Munster a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah. Martin got under him.
A couple of years ago. A couple of years after that, it was Tino going after Burton.
Yep.
Then a few years after that, everyone went after Dearden.
Yep.
But he stood up to that and he went, all right, I'm going back at you. Yeah. I could just keep running at you.
Yeah, if Liero's been sent out there to niggle, and if you get under Jerome's skin, that's it. It's lights out, game over.
And I can guarantee if it's not going to be Liero going after that, look who the hard man is in 14 for the Queensland side.
You reckon Kurt Mann?
He will just run at Luai all game.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, Kurt Capewell would be a good option to be running at Luai too. Just the old man has tricks that these kids haven't seen.
That's fair.
But again, I think the game plan for Queensland is simplified again with Luai in the halves, because especially yardage coming out of New South Wales, coming out of yardage. Well, they only have one kicker now, and that's Nathan. Whereas in game one, you had to split your defence because Mitch can kick it 90 on the fly, Nathan can kick it 90 on the fly. Either way, they're going to get out of their end.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you can double to triple team Nathan now because there's no other kicking option.
And if you do get a kick out of Jerome Luai, it's not going anywhere particular, or it's a fluke kick.
Well, it's not going to go 80
unless it goes to Latrell Mitchell, which realistically
that could be a legitimate option.
Whereas if you, for instance, you put Burton there, you've got another
decent long boot. Like we did such good things in game one, and now we've wound the clock back 4 years to when we were terrible. It just concerns me. I'm not saying it's all going to be Luai's fault because everybody else, it's a team game. But the selection concerns me because I think we lose more than we gain.
Yep.
We are going to gain a lot inside the Queensland 40 in attack with Luai. 100%. Yep. His unpredictability, as much as it shits me at times, it is an asset.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you compare the Sixers...
Well, it's the same thing, yeah.
If you've got Nathan, who's a very methodical and forward thinker in a half, you've got Jerome Luai, who, let's face it, will take a back seat to Cleary.
Oh, 100% he will.
He will be the backseat driver 100%. The whole time.
But that's his role. Like, that's not a knock on him.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they'll fall into line.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yes, yeah.
But then you've got...
Which is why he's been selected.
But let's say the other two halves, Munster and Dearden. Who fucking knows what those two blokes are going to do?
Absolutely, and that's the problem.
Because Munster will look over at Dearden and go, oh yeah, all right. Well, that's not what I thought you were going to do. All right, cool. But then Dearden will be like, look at Munster and go, do Munster things.
Yeah. Whereas you had that in game one.
I guarantee you, if Munster does Munster things, who's the first person that's going to be there?
Dearden following up, or even worse, you could have the hammer coming up through the middle as well. So,
or you'll have Kalen Ponga, who magically does a Gang Gay guy and switches on Origin mode.
Well, he didn't in game one.
I know he didn't.
He was hardly noticed.
But it's the same thing about Gay guy.
Yeah.
He will take Origin Gay guy back to Clubland, but not have it in Clubland.
Yeah.
The old meme with Buzz Lightyear being in the wrong mode.
On and off and off. Look, the aerial battle, I can see...
Because you've got Lomax against Xavier Coates.
I hope that's the way they match up. I really do, because I think that would be a fantastic aerial battle to see.
Rumour is Xavier Coates and Hammer are going to be switching round.
And look, the back five for New South Wales is yardage galore. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they work. which will take a lot of pressure off the forwards, which they're going to need to do because the forwards are in for an absolute war this game. This is not going to be as soft as the first game.
The Blues will need to get on top quickly.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no penalties in the first 20 minutes because that, as much as that is what helped New South Wales, it also ruined the game.
The amount of penalties and the amount of 6-agains that were questionable.
Yeah.
There was that
an Origin game should have 8 penalties maximum for the whole thing.
What was there? There was 12 in the first half, I think there was.
It's disgusting.
The 6-agains, I understand there's a reason, there's rules in place about that. But when you've got commentators, legends of the game questioning where the hell that was for. What was that for?
Yeah, look, and obviously same bloke's got the whistle, so let's just hope he's learned his lesson or had a talking to from the NRL because this is our crown jewel. Don't referee it like a club game.
No.
You want that little bit of I suppose car crash in it.
You want that fire in it. You want that to be physical. You basically want it to not so much have a fight with the next person wearing the Blues jersey or the Queensland jersey sitting beside each other, but you want it to be, all right, I want to go.
You want them redlining on that line and a little bit over the whole game. Look,
can I just say one thing that I found out about this, and it was actually blew me away when I first found out about it. It's a complete side fact, and I found it through the Melbourne Storm members page.
Yeah.
This is the most Melbourne Storm players to ever be selected.
Through Origin.
Origin. Xavier Coates, Cameron Munster, Harry Grant, Trent Liero, Stefano, Jack Howarth.
He's in the squad.
But this still counts because he's in the 19.
Yeah.
That's 6 players from the Melbourne Storm.
I was going to say, when usually you would have had Munster, Smith, Slater, Grant.
At one time.
Yeah, that's only 4.
So, Cronk, Smith, and
Slater.
Munster and Slater were about the only 4.
Yeah,
unfortunately, Harry Grant didn't play with Cameron Smith and whatever. Right, So, that cycle never continued.
Yeah. Oh, well, fair enough.
I just thought it'd be a nice little...
That's a random one. Where are you leaning? Well, give me a tip and a scoreline.
I'm going to back my boys Maroons because Queensland...
You have to.
I don't think that this is going to be a big scoreline, but I think it's going to be the reverse of game 1.
Which is what?
18-6 to the Blues, but I'd probably say it'd be more leaning towards an 18-12.
Nice close one. Look, it's working for me. I'm copping abuse left, right and centre from the other boys, but I'm going to tip Queensland. And I'm going to tip Queensland 28 to 14.
28 to 14.
Oh, I think there is an ambush and a half coming, and if I'm wrong, it means my theory is still working because if I tip New South Wales, they'll lose. If I don't, they win. So I'm happy to drop a tip here for the Blues to win, but I think I do not have the confidence that everybody else seems to have. I see a lot more coming at us than game 1. That's for damn sure.
That's fair.
That's for damn sure.
Look, we'll be at the game. If anyone that is on the West Coast does listen to us, keep an eye out for us. We'll be floating around the game. I know gates open at 3:30.
There is a WA Rise game beforehand, so you can check out some of the junior talent.
And also the under-19s
State of Origin
side. So you've got, for the Queensland side, we got Kobe Black as the captain. So up and coming half, and I believe Toby Rodwell is the captain for the Blues. So that'll be nice to see that.
Yep. Well, see, now the 19s game last year had a kid by the name of Ethan Strange in the halves for the New South Wales. We are now seeing what he's doing. There was also
Jackson Purgew for
Queensland.
The Queensland side.
Look, the under-19s Origin is a nice little
glimpse
window
to the future.
Yeah, not all of them, but there'll be those 1 or 2 special ones that you'll see and go, oh, hang on a minute.
I'll keep an eye on him. But we'll be there from probably about 3:30, just after the gates open, because our mad rush from last couple of times is been intense. So
Yep.
everyone be safe out there. But if you see us, feel free. Come stop, take a photo with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Western Front boys will be up there as well, and they are going to be doing something special on the Thursday, but I'll let them tell you about that later. But anyway, thank you very much. That is the Game 2 Origin preview, and we will either see you at the game or you'll hear from us on, whenever we do the review. Cheers. 25.